All right, what's up, everybody? It's Jason here with the Adult Leprechauns podcast, and as we've been talking about for a couple of days, we're super excited to be joined by one of the elite wide receivers that's going to be joining the Irish here in 2024, Logan Saldate. How you doing, Logan?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing good, man. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know you got a lot going on, and you're fresh off a victory with your team, going on to the finals, right? The state finals at CIF.
Yep.
So why don't you tell our audience, what school you go, what school you're currently going to, and who you guys played yesterday and who you got coming up next week?
I go to Palma High School. We played – who did we just play last night?
Houghton?
Yeah, Houston. Super small school, super small town, but a very good team. So we came out with the W 21-31. And then we're going on to the state finals next Saturday against Mission Oaks. So they're a good team as well.
So is that game going to be, isn't there a central location for the state championships, like somewhere in Northern Cali?
Yeah, it'll be in San Diego or like LA. So like Pasadena.
LA.
Pasadena, yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's probably, are you guys playing at the Rose Bowl?
No.
Oh, bummer.
Other small college.
Okay. That'll still be a pretty cool experience for you. Well, congrats on getting that far, man. A lot of kids don't get that opportunity, and I know CIF is such a competitive state association. It's not meant for everybody. So, congrats.
Thank you.
So, let's talk a little bit about your season. So, I know we were just talking offline a little bit about your game yesterday. It looks like, from what I could see on the stream, which was kind of faded, they were bracketing you the entire game. So, can you talk a little bit about your season this past year at Salinas, and what you're looking forward to in the next game in the finals?
Yeah, I mean, this whole season has been fun. I've been expecting like double teams and bracketing, but now it's getting a little more rough. Like teams are just limiting me to no catches, and we just have to work around that as a team. I really just care about winning and keep advancing. But yeah, it's been fun. I mean, doing what I do and just having fun with the game.
So let's talk a little bit about your recruitment process. So when did Notre Dame kind of come on the radar for you in terms of, an offer letter, a verbal offer, and then when did you decide, this is the place for me for the next 4 years?
Okay, so I had originally committed to Oregon State, and so I don't know the exact times, but I was committed to Oregon State for about 2 months, and Chad, the recruiting coordinator, he had followed me on Instagram, and I didn't think much of it. I followed him back, and then it really just went from there, just small talk and sending transcripts. But even then, I was like, okay, I'm like committed. Like they probably don't really mess with me that bad. But then he eventually got on the phone with me, got me in contact with the receivers coach, and just really everybody. But I had never seen them in person. Never performed in front of them, so they had told me to go out to the field, to my local field, record a bunch of routes, 40, all of that good stuff, and I just sent that all in, and the whole process was about a week, like 6 days maybe. We getting on the phone with Coach Freeman and all of them, and the offer came pretty quick, and I committed the same day.
So was there something specific when you went to campus that you're like, man, I really made a great decision. This is where I need to be. Is it just, I mean, what kid realistically, I know even some of the younger guys like you, it's who doesn't dream of going to Notre Dame wearing that gold helmet and touching the play like a champion today sign. So was there one moment where you're like, man, this is it. This is where I got to go.
Exactly. No, yeah. I mean, when coach followed me on Instagram, I told my parents and they were already set. Like it's a dream for one of their kids to go to Notre Dame. So in their minds, they already knew where I was going to go if we got the offer. But once we made it onto campus, we had no doubt that I made the right decision. And just seeing that gold dome in person, it's just amazing. And it's all good. Man.
Yeah, there's just something, I have obviously 99.9% of the people watching this and listening have never played at Notre Dame. And it's like all of our dream. But even just going there, I always tell my wife, there's truly something magical about Notre Dame. And the grotto and the connection to your faith, which I know is important to you. It's just such a special place, and it's all family, man. You're going to find out like the alumni that you're going to meet. It's truly a 4 for 40 school. But on top of that, the Notre Dame fan base is so rabid, sometimes bad, mostly good, in the support of student athletes. And so I think you're really going to experience that once you get on campus and you're actually getting going over there.
Definitely.
What are you planning on majoring in?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
We're still trying to figure that out.
Majoring in football. Let's see. So are you going to be an early enrollee?
No, I will not be.
Okay. So finish out the traditional high school experience and get some more time at home and then head out there?
Exactly. Yep.
Now, have you been to the Midwest when it's cold?
Yeah. So,
okay.
Fun fact, my brother is a wrestler at Michigan State, and then my sister works at the University of Indiana. So I've been down there a few times, yeah.
You're a little bit used to it. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I like to ask a lot of the incoming recruits this. Last year, we had a couple years ago, we had Gabe Rubio on, Rocco Spindler. And I asked him, I said, who are you guys most excited about competing against on your team? Whether it be Benjamin Morrison or Jaden Mickey. So is there one guy maybe in the upcoming 24 class that you're like, I can't wait to go and test my skills against this guy?
Definitely. I'd have to say Carson Hobbs. Like, we're close. We talk like almost every day. It's just trash talking already. So we're definitely building up the hype, and it'll be battles every single day at practice.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
Yeah.
And so is there do you guys have, I know a lot of the classes, is there like a text group with all of you guys where you're just kind of, hitting each other up and saying, hey, good game, or hey, can't wait to see you in a few weeks or whatever?
Yeah, definitely. It's all like that, and just checking in with each other, seeing how everybody's doing,
sure.
all that and everything. So yeah.
Yeah, this class is really going to be special, man. I mean, you got CJ Carr and Cam Williams, it's going to be Carson Hobbs, going to be a lot of fun. I really can't wait. It's funny. We were just you've obviously seen what's been going on in terms of some of the transfers and portal and all that. And I keep having to remind people that we have some absolute freaking studs coming onto campus in a few months. Not to mention guys we already have on campus now: Jaden Thomas, Colsey, Great House, Faison, all those guys. But what would your message be to Notre Dame fans in terms of, hey, we're good, we're locked in, we're ready to rock and roll?
No, yeah. I mean, it's been a lot going on lately with Coach Stuckey getting fired and all the transfers, but nobody should be worrying about anything. We got Cam, Micah, me, all the other commits. We're all dogs, but even the guys ahead of us, like the people who weren't starting or getting any playing time, I know they're going to come up and rise to the occasion. And if we bring any transfers in from the portal, they're going to help us learn. They're going to push us to be our best. So we're going to be fine. And you just have to trust in Coach Freeman, to be honest. Like, if you're a true Notre Dame fan, you're going to trust Free and understand what he's building. So it'll be good.
And, the crazy thing about it, too, is 3-4 years ago, there was no portal. There was no NIL. And it's changed so rapidly, so quickly that you just have to be able to adjust. And I think Freeman's done a tremendous job of that, quite frankly, of saying, hey, here's the situation. I'm a brand new head coach, but I understand kids. I understand what they're looking for. And he said it the other day on the RG3 podcast. He said, if they leave, they leave. That's, ultimately he wants the best for his players, which I think speaks volumes about who he is. He still loves them, but he's going to give them, the reality check of like, look, you're at Notre Dame. This is a 4 for 40 situation. Not to mention you're playing on national TV every single week. You've got an Under Armour deal. You've got this. I mean, the life of a student athlete at Notre Dame is challenging, but it's also probably the most rewarding experience you could have. So I love hearing from guys like you, Cam Williams, CJ Carr, those kind of guys that it is obviously about the football. Let's be honest. It's about the football, but at the end of the day, you're going to walk out of there no matter what with a degree that's going to put you on the upper echelon of everybody else out there.
Exactly. Agree. Totally.
So talking about Coach Freeman, yeah. What's your interaction been with Coach Free? I mean, is he, a lot of the fantasy camp guys, I don't know if you know what fantasy camp is, but it's where a bunch of knuckleheads, old guys like me that are out of shape, get to go to this camp, pay a lot of money, go to this camp, and you're treated like a Notre Dame player for like a week. And I haven't been able to go since Freeman's been the head coach, but all I hear is how amazing he is and that he truly cares and that he's very genuine. So what's the sense that you get from Freeman? Is it all, window pane, or is it truly that's who this guy is?
No, it's true. Like, everything you see from the outside, he's really like that. He's always checking in with my family, seeing how my parents are doing, my grandparents, because I live with them. I mean, he calls me after the game, see how I did. It's just all genuine, and I'm super excited to be on campus with him and just get taught from him and become a better player, but a better person off the field. It'll be good.
So being that you're not enrolling early, what's the plan for the offseason? Do you have guys that you work out with? I know obviously CJ Carr's in Michigan and some of these guys are spread out, but are there some guys you're going to try to get some work in with that'll get you ready to really put those pads on and get going in the summer?
Yes, sir. I got my trainers over here in Cali, and they'll get me right. And then I'm also going to be doing track to keep my speed up and really blow by the secondary defender. So I'm excited.
Have you always been a track athlete as well?
Not always. I mean, last year was really my first real year of running track. My first year was my sophomore year, but I didn't really do nothing special. Junior year, I ran a 10.8.2, and then this year I'll probably run like a 10.5, hopefully.
Okay. Do you so what events do you actually do? You do the 100, I'm assuming?
100 and long jump. I'm gonna do the 200 though.
Okay, all right. You don't do the relay because I think that'd be a problem for your other teams.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know yet. We'll see.
All right. So are there any other you mentioned your wide receivers coaches. You want to give them some love, some of your trainers. Who do you train with out there in Cali?
Honestly, one of my top trainers is my cousin. He played at San Jose State way back, and he's really been teaching me everything that I know, or all the basics and stuff. He introduced me to the wide receiver position and just got my knowledge right. So shout out to him, and then Coach Amoko, KT Prep, just them, just working on me, fine tuning my skills, getting my speed right, in and out of breaks, all that stuff goes to them.
Love it. See, we got a question here from our audience. Sean Hagan on Facebook wants to know, what's your Spotify top 5?
Oh, my Spotify top 5, I got you right now. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Spotify top 5. All right. First, we have Rod Wave. I'm big on Rod Wave. Dude, where'd it go? Next, we got Lil TJ. Third, we got Nav, Drake. Who's the last one? I can't see it. And Lil Tecca.
All right.
It's
so
but yeah,
a little bit of everything. All right. So what is the Notre Dame fight song number 6? Then I'm assuming it's like right there. Yeah, if you look at mine, it's like Rudy soundtrack, Notre Dame soundtrack, that kind of stuff. Have you seen the movie Rudy yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so you already know the magic and all that kind of stuff. But okay. Is there any other alumni that, I know Northern Cali, we were just up there for the Stanford game, and there is a good amount of Notre Dame alum that either, played high school ball in Northern California Bay Area, or come back a lot of the time. Is there anybody that's reached out to you that's an alum that's been like, hey man, if you need anything, shoot me a text or whatever? Anybody like that so far?
Yeah, it's been actually a few of them, and it's really heartwarming and just welcoming to Notre Dame. And honestly, my school principal is a Notre Dame alumni.
Oh, nice.
Any sports, but he did graduate from there, and he's been leading me through this whole process. So that's
tremendous. And it's a private school, correct?
Yeah.
Private Christian type deal.
Exactly. Yeah.
So let's talk about your faith a little bit. I've seen you post several times different scripture and putting God first, Jesus first. What do you? Have you always been brought up in a Christian home with your grandparents you mentioned, and how was that?
Yeah, Catholic. I grew up going to church, and I've always claimed to be religious, but just this past year or 4 months, I've been really focusing on God, and because I was all right, decommitting and all those emotions, man, it's hard to stay grounded, and people are hating on you, but on the other side you're getting a bunch of praise. And really throughout this whole starting from my freshman year, it's been all praise really until I decommitted. But other than that, it's been oh, Logan, you're so good. And it's hard, it's easy to get lost in the sauce and just create a big ego. And that's when I really just focus on God and thanked him for everything, and just really tuned in on him.
That's awesome, man. And you're really going to get that. That's such a big part of what Notre Dame is all about, is that faith element. It's God Country Notre Dame, and they really do embody that. So I think that's great that you're already in that mindset right now, because there's going to be times where, you're in a game and you miss a catch or whatever, right? And
exactly.
there's unfortunately some people on social media. It's cool to have social media because we get to connect with guys like you, but there's also a lot of people out there on social media that have, unfortunately they project on 18, 19, 20-year-old kids, and it can become very unfortunate. And I was talking to a particular wide receiver's father the other day, and he was talking about that. He said, man, it is so hard for me as a dad to see some of these comments and read some of the DMs and, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, you just got to ignore the noise, because those are the kind of people that they're projecting. They're miserable with their lives, so they're trying to bring you down because their favorite college football team didn't do well. So I think it's awesome that you have that headspace already where you're like, hey, only God's going to judge me, and I'm going to get through this with God's help. So I love it, man. It's great.
Exactly.
So what do you see yourself doing? I know you said you don't know what your major is going to be, but after your 4 years at Notre Dame and after you have a successful NFL career, what do you see yourself doing professionally?
I definitely want to help younger kids and just probably coach, whether it be like college or personal trainer or something like that. Just give back to the game and always stay around it.
Awesome. That's great. All right. Well, so what else do you have going on? I always like to give student athletes an opportunity to kind of plug something you have going on, whether it be your NIL stuff or whatever. Is there anything that you want to kind of plug at this point? Any buddies that you want to plug to get some?
I don't have anything to plug really. I mean, just, I guess God, the Bible, but shout out to God for getting me through my hard times and all that. But I guess I can plug my Instagram. Hold on. The Logan Saldate, simple.
Oh yeah, we're gonna blow that up, man. We're gonna keep sending that and texting, sharing, and all that good stuff. So going back real quick to some of your upcoming teammates, have you had an opportunity to talk with CJ and all that kind of stuff? How's he feeling about things?
Yeah, so CJ actually reached out to not only me, but the other two receivers that are committed in the 2024 class. And I mean, it was rough for the receivers and CJ to hear that Coach Stuckey was getting fired. But once we got on the phone with Coach Free and everybody else on the staff, they kind of got us on board and let us know everything and that we're going to be okay. But CJ had reached out to us and just said that we got to be ready to play. We got to come in ready. And that we have 3 of the top recruits in 2024 class of the receivers. So there's nothing we should be worrying about, and we're going to tear it up.
Absolutely. And again, adding that to the mix of the Jaden Greathouses of the world, Jaden Thomas, if he comes back, hopefully he does. Deion Colsey, if he comes back, Donald Faison. It's going to be a good group, man. I think people are paying, not to mention Mitchell Evans, right? Eli Reardon, the tight ends. It's going to be ridiculous. A couple of things from the audience here. Just Jack wants to know, he's seen tape of you all year, very versatile. Where is your comfortability, the slot or the boundary?
I would definitely say slot, to be honest. I mean, I love playing outside receiver for my high school, and I'll do whatever it takes for us to win. But I would say where I'm really comfortable is in slot. And I talked to Coach Free and the staff, and I'm going to be all over the place in the offense. I'm not just going to be a strict slot or a strict outside receiver. I'll be in motion and stuff like that. So I'm excited. But I'm really I like both, to be honest. I like both.
Okay. You don't play both sides of the ball right now in high school, do you?
Occasionally.
Okay.
But if there's somebody I have to follow at corner, then I'll do it.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Do you have a nickname? Who wants to know that? Hold on. I don't know who asked that, but somebody wants to know if you have a nickname.
No, I don't got a nickname.
Okay. Well, we'll figure one out for you eventually. Let's see. Gonna need him at both. CJ Carr. Do you have any? Wayne Smith on YouTube wants to know if you have any other hobbies.
Definitely. I definitely do have some hobbies. So when I'm not playing football, all right, going back to God, I definitely like to just focus in on God and do my reflections. But I really like to play ping pong, and I really like to play pickleball.
Okay.
And golf. That's about
all right.
it.
What's your handicap right now?
I don't have a handicap right now. I haven't played here, but I really mess with golf. And
Next time,
if Cam is watching this, Cam Williams, next time I'm out there in Chicago, I'm pretty sure it's like December 23rd. We're gonna play golf, and I'm gonna smack you, and I'm gonna post it on Twitter.
shots fired. We're gonna need video, and we're gonna need to see a scorecard before and after. But yeah, I think I'd be putting my money on you too, because you seem like that. You seem to get that golfer swag. Like you'll just go out there and crack one like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So you mentioned pickleball. Now you got me all geeked up because I'm a big pickleball guy and a big ping pong guy. Do you play regularly, or when you play, you're just like, oh, this is pretty cool, or do you play pretty regularly?
No, I do play regularly. It's been like before the season, I was playing pretty often, and a few of my friends were going to like socials and tournaments. But I've been pretty busy, so yeah, I got one more week of football, and then I'm gonna go on pickleball, and I have a Ben Johns paddle coming in. So
Okay. Oh man. You got maybe your first NIL deal can be like a pickleball sponsorship or something.
Exactly. That's what something in the works.
Pickleball is growing, man. People want to hate on it that it's an old man's game. So I'm so glad that a young freaking stud athlete is like, yeah, pickleball. Because I try to get my son, who's my co-host, who was at work today, unfortunately, he doesn't want to play because he thinks it's an old man's game. And I'm like, all right, dude, like it's a good workout, and it's and not just that, but for somebody like you, I mean, you got to keep your body healthy, ready to go. You're not going to get hurt playing pickleball. You know, it's great for your knees and all that. So that's awesome, man.
Yep.
All right, let's. Somebody wants to know. I don't know. Who's your favorite NFL team?
Favorite NFL team? I'll have to go with Dallas Cowboys by default because my dad is a Dallas Cowboys fan.
All right, fair enough. They're looking pretty good.
Yeah. Other than that, if they're not playing and the Kansas City Chiefs are playing, I have to go against them because the rest of my family is a Kansas City Chiefs fan.
Are they from that area?
Nah, they just like Mahomes.
So were you born and raised in the Northern Cali area?
Yep.
Okay,
yep.
Cool. So I'm trying to think. Salinas is just outside of what? San Jose?
Yeah, basically. And
okay.
I don't live in Salinas. I live in Gilroy, which is even closer.
Okay.
San Jose.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, we went through there, like I said, on the way up to Stanford the other day, but we go out Northern Cali pretty often. Okay, cool. Well, I think that's going to do it, man. I just really want to tell you that I appreciate your time. I know you're busy. I know you got a lot of stuff to do, so I appreciate you taking a few minutes with us. We here at Dos Leprechauns are super excited to follow your career. As soon as I saw that you were committing, I was pretty fired up. I'm not going to lie. One quick thing before you go, I do want to mention you kind of talked about Oregon State. Turns out Notre Dame just got the bid to play Oregon State in the Sun Bowl.
No.
So that's our bowl game. Sun Bowl, El Paso against Oregon State.
Wow. That's crazy. Man.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's probably only like from Cali up where you're at. That's going to be a trek. So we're going to try to get out there. But anyway, all right, man. Hey, keep your head up. Keep doing what you're doing. Good luck in state. And we can't wait to see you around South Bend, and go Irish, man.
Yeah, go Irish. Thank you for having me.
Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, that was a breath of fresh air, if I may say so myself. What an awesome guy, man. He really, when you start worrying about where we're at with the recruits and who are winning, who are losing, who we're bringing in, you see and you hear from kids like Logan Saldate, and you get pretty excited because that's the kind of student athlete that we bring into Notre Dame, and that's awesome. Let's see some of the comments here. Too late, Lance. Nice young man. I love this great stuff, Jason. Thank you, David. So if you guys hadn't heard yet, we'll probably be hopefully somebody on one of our Dos Leprechauns staff members posted it. But Notre Dame versus Oregon State in the Sun Bowl in El Paso. That's a very, very interesting matchup. I'm going to pull up Oregon State's record this year. They've obviously, I think DJ Ungalalele has already declared whether either for the draft or he was going to transfer. So you won't have DJ Ungalalele on that game. So that's going to be it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. I have no clue who their backup quarterback is. Let's see. So their record this year looks like they finished fourth in the Pac-12. They got beat first game. They beat the ever powerful San Jose State 42-17. They beat UC Davis 55-7. They beat San Diego State 26-9. They lost to Washington State 38-35. They beat Utah 21-7. That's a nice win. They beat California 52-40. Let's see. DJ is in the transfer portal. That's what David said. Yeah, for sure. They got beat by Arizona by a field goal. That was a tight game, so that's a pretty good win too because Arizona's a pretty darn good team this year. They beat Colorado 26-19 at Colorado. They crushed Stanford, who didn't, 62-17. They just barely lost to Washington 22-20. They got beat by Oregon 31-7, and now December 29th at 12 p.m. Pacific, Notre Dame versus Oregon State. It's going to be the 15th ranked Irish versus the 21st ranked Oregon State Beavers. So hopefully we can get a little revenge for the last time we played Oregon State in a bowl game because that was not pretty. But yeah, good times. Good times. We finally got our bowl game. It took forever. Rich said, shout out to Portage, Indiana. 12U made the Pop Warner semis, 1 game away from the championship. Good job, Rich. Good job to you and the boys. Shout out to the Portage, Indiana 12U football team. I met some of Rich's players. I don't know if it was this year or last year, but they're beasts. I would not be surprised to see some of those guys playing at Notre Dame in the near future. So congrats, Rich, and your squad, man. Let's get it going. He can't sit still. I don't understand the DJU that is. I don't know what that means, Wayne. Let's see what else we got. What else you guys want to talk about? Let's talk about the transfer portal. I'm going to take this off here real quick. So I think everybody watching this probably at least understands that what's going on with the portal. We got to get under the scholarship limit anyways. We knew a lot of these guys were going to transfer. I think for everybody, the biggest surprise was our boy Rico Flores transferring, which more from a personal perspective, that one's upsetting to me just because he is somebody that we had an opportunity to follow at a very early stage because of his uncle being a good friend of ours. So obviously that one hurts. He's a good kid. I think he's got a lot of fire in his belly, and he's obviously very talented. So losing Rico definitely hurts for a lot of reasons. But we got to remember, guys, there's still a lot of talent in that wide receiver room already, not to mention, as Logan said, you've got Logan Saldate, Cam Williams, Mikey Gilbert coming in, not to mention you already have Faison Greathouse, who's going to be, in my opinion, wide receiver 1. Jaden Thomas, hopefully coming back, Deion Colsey. So it's not the end of the world. It's not great. We're not super excited to see players leave, but it is what it is. Holden shocked me. Oh, Holden stays. Yeah, Holden stays, the tight end leaving. That one I actually wasn't too surprised. I thought either he or maybe even or Flanagan or one of those guys might have left because you've got Jack Larson is the one tight end coming in. That's a freshman in the 24 class. He'll be coming in. And then you've already got Mitchell Evans, who's going to return from the injury. Eli Reardon, who kind of has emerged late here. And then Cooper Flanagan, who I think is going to be a very special player for us. So, it's been rough, obviously, but I appreciate everybody, I think, starting to come around to understand that this is just the way it's going to be now. And Notre Dame is going to reload. It's Notre Dame. It's Coach Freeman. He can recruit with the best of them. You had the kid from FIU on campus, Chris Mitchell, yesterday. He had 7 touchdowns, was a 1,000-yard receiver last year. So there's going to be some guys coming in, and there's probably going to be some guys leaving still. There might be a couple decommits. I don't know. None of us know. I don't even think Coach Freeman knows for sure who is going to stick around and who is not. But go Irish, Mitch. I had put it on Facebook earlier, but apparently he wasn't following that. I don't know what you're talking about, Jason. One of the Dose Leprechaun guys on here, Jeff, Wayne, Lynch, anybody, if you guys can post the Sun Bowl info, that would be tremendous on the Facebook page. That would be great. By the way, who's watching the NFL fantasy football season is absolutely killing me. I've had some of the worst luck ever. I've lost several games by like 0.008. So this has been some BS, man. And I'm just kind of watching on the side of my eye that Joe Flacco decides he wants to be Joe Flacco again. So it's like, what's going on here? Going back to recruiting a little bit, I want to talk about some of the commits coming in and why I don't think there's as much cause for concern as some may think. So Cam Williams is the second highest rated wide receiver that Notre Dame has recruited ever. Now, somebody called me out on that on Twitter and said, well, there was wide receivers long before, recruiting rankings, which is true. But in the, let's say 30 years since they've been ranked, he's number 2 besides just Michael Floyd. So Cam Williams is going to be a beast. Then you've got, obviously We talked about Logan Saldate coming on. And then you've got another guy, Micah Gilbert, out of Charlotte Christian. He's also a 4-star, 6'3", 203. 6'3", 203 pounds. The number 8th ranked state in the entire state of North Carolina. You've also got Aeneas Williams coming in, who's a running back that I think is highly underrated. He should be a 5-star, but whatever. And then Logan obviously coming in. I mentioned Jack Larson. He's the big tight end, 6'3", 220 pounds. Also from North Carolina, 16th ranked player in the state, 34th in the position overall. We've got some good offensive linemen coming in. You heard Logan mention Carson Hobbs, who's a speedster. He's a cornerback. He is out of Moeller High School, who has been kind of a pipeline for Notre Dame. That guy is the definition, in my opinion, of a lockdown at the high school level. See how it does at the college level, but excited about that one. Anthony Knapp, one of the linemen I'm really excited about, 6'4", 268 pounds. He's got some size to put on, but he's from Roswell, Georgia. Big mauler type kid. If you watch his film, he quite frankly goes out to hurt people in a football sense, of course, but just a big beast. See, Mitch LaRock said college football is the Wild West now. Yeah, no doubt, man. It's getting crazy, and it's going to get crazier. I'm telling you right now, there's going to be other guys that are going to decommit. There's going to be some recruits that will lose at the last second type deal. And guess what? It is what it is. There's nothing that we can do about it. There's nothing that Freeman can do about it if they make that decision. It is what it is. So we got to move on. Aeneas Williams is great, says David Lynch. Well, Estime and Alt play in the bowl game. No chance. Estime and Alt are as good as gone. And I think they should. I think it would be irresponsible of them, quite frankly, to play in the bowl game. They're both guys that are going to be – what's up, Nick? Nick Yoder jumping on Facebook. I think both those guys are going to be Joe Alt's going to be a first-round pick, maybe even a top 10 pick. He's the second best lineman in the class, according to a lot of the NFL draft gurus. And then, Estime running backs have gotten less and less love in the draft, but Estime is a special running back, as we all know. I think he's going to be a second, maybe third-round draft pick, but I think he's going to go on to have a long career. Gary Kennedy said, worry about the things you can control. Yep, that's the highlight. That's the key. Curious on what you think about Florida State being left out. So thanks for asking. That's David Lynch on Facebook. I think it's valid. The committee has had several controversial decisions over the years, and I think that on the holy Deebo Samuel's fast. And I think on this one, they got it right, because you talk about the 4 best teams. I think they got them. In fact, I would even venture to say that Georgia would have deserved a spot over Texas, but that's just me. So you got Michigan number 1, Washington number 2, Texas number 3, and then, of course, Bama at number 4. Florida State, watching that game against Louisville yesterday, they looked pretty bad against but against a Louisville team that had some guys out with injuries and different things. And, they were without their starting quarterback. I will admit that. But to me, that's not a team that's going to go in there and be competitive against a Michigan team that I think is going to be really good. So Gary Kennedy says, I think it's BS. Well, it may be BS, but again, it is what it is. And I think they got it right personally, because as much as some people don't care for Bama, I actually don't have a problem with Bama. I mean, every time, or the one time we went to a game to watch them play, their fans were super courteous, super, good sports, whatever you want to call it. And then in general, I mean, they're just damn good. Nick Saban's the GOAT. I'd love to say it's Knute Rockne or Eric Parsegian, Frank Leahy, Lou, but no, Nick Saban's the GOAT in college football, plain and simple, especially in the day and age of the transfer portal and the NIL and things like that. He's the GOAT. Let's see here. Can Devin Ford play receiver if we need it, from Wayne Smith? I hope so. I think they're going to have to move somebody over for the bowl game, and Devin Ford might be a candidate. Jadarian Price might be a candidate. I think there's a couple guys you'll see back there. I personally am really, really excited to see Jeremiah Love be the featured back, number 12. He reminds me, not just because of his number, but he reminds me so much of Ricky Waters, who is one of my all-time favorite players for Notre Dame. I mean, physical, can be elusive, can catch the ball to the backfield. I mean, Ricky Waters was a receiver at first, so go figure, right? So we'll see, man. Jeremiah Love, though. Jabron Payne will be back there. You got Aeneas Williams coming in. It's going to be a fun running back room, and I think the O-line is going to be young and inexperienced, because you're going to lose Joe Alt, and as controversial as this may sound, you're going to lose Blake Fisher. So you're going to lose 2 of your 5 offensive linemen. But I'm very excited about Rocco Spindler coming back. I know he had some growing pains to go through this year, but I think he's going to be a guy that is going to kind of be one of the anchors that O-line him. And, Pat Coogan, Ashton Craig, the new center, who you will see, I'm assuming, as a starting center against Oregon State coming up here in the bowl game. So lots to be excited about, guys, honestly. Wayne Smith losing Zeke too. Yep. FSU being out kills the Notre Dame has to join a conference talk. That's from Jason Lynch. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, Florida State wins the ACC and they're left out of the college football playoffs. So I'm a big independent guy. I don't think we should ever join a conference. And I think this is yet another reason why that case can be made. It's going to be a fun playoffs, man. Here's my prediction. I think Bama's going to steamroll Michigan. I think Bama's clicking at the right time. That Jalen or Jaden, I can't remember. Sorry, Mr. Milroy, but Milroy is a freak athlete. I actually enjoy watching him play. They got 3 or 4 running backs that can run it. Their defense is, as always, stifling. I think they're going to steamroll Michigan. And then I believe that Texas is going to beat Washington, and it'll set up a rematch, Alabama versus Texas, which will be awesome. But I think Alabama is going to run through them, and Alabama is going to be your 2023 national champions. I know a lot of you don't want to hear that, but they're clicking at the right time, and they're loaded everywhere, and they've got the greatest coach of all time, and they've got a pretty decent OC. See, David Lynch says, I'm pulling for Washington. Yeah, I mean, it'd be great to see Washington do well with Michael Penix. He seems like a good kid. Met him at the Elite 11 camp. Nice guy, but I just don't think they're going to be able to compete with the firepower of Texas. I feel like Bama got in just because they're Bama. I hate Michigan, but I hope they roll them. Sorry, Nick. I hate Michigan I hate USC more than anything, but I hate Michigan next. And so I really hope Bama, and I think Bama will absolutely destroy them. I think it will be Washington versus Michigan. Go Huskies. I don't think so, man. We'll see. Who knows? This year has been so freaking weird. I mean, some of the upsets, some of the crazy things that have happened. It's just been a really weird season in college football. So who knows? I mean, it could end up. What if it was Washington versus, Michigan versus Texas? Or there's so many combos of things that could happen where it just could go a lot of different ways. And I'm excited to see it because we've got some parity now, right? There's only one SEC team instead of 2. And the one team that is in there from the SEC happens to be probably the favorite. I'd like to know from you guys, what about Georgia? I mean, do you feel like Georgia still had an argument to be in there over a Texas maybe? I mean, I personally think they did, because when you got a team like Georgia, I mean, they're the defending champions twice over, and they won 29 games in a row, just to lose to Bama, who I think is the best team in the country right now as far as how they're playing. I don't know. I think they have a valid argument to get in there, but that's just my honest opinion, which means absolutely nothing. I can't wait for the 12-team playoffs, says Gary Candidate. Yeah, that's going to be fun, man. It's been a long time coming. 12-team playoffs means that there is zero excuse for the Irish not to get in with that schedule next year. It's going to be crucial for Notre Dame to win that first game against Texas A&M, because I think besides maybe FSU, but even FSU I don't think is going to be as good. They're going to lose a lot of talent. Obviously, USC at USC, the last game of the regular season will be tough. But our schedule is very, very manageable next year. There's no reason why we should lose. Well, I don't think we should lose any games ever. That's just me. But definitely not 2-3 games. I think this is the year that Freeman's going to have to say, hey, yeah, we've had some bumps on the road, but now it's time to put this thing into overdrive and get us where we need to go. So let's look at the schedule. So August 31st at Texas A&M. Obviously, you got a new coach there with Mike Elko, who I freaking love. Coach Elko. I think he's going to turn things around pretty quickly there, but I think it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment period, and I think we'll have an edge in terms of some of the experience. But going into College Station is going to be dangerous at any time. So we'll have to see how that goes. Then we come back home for the home opener against Northern Illinois. Obviously, a game that we should walk all over them and get some of the backups in. Then we go to Purdue. Never sleep on Purdue, man. Those guys always play us tough, and interstate rivals, so that could go either way. But I think that we obviously will have more talent and should pull that one off. Then we go we'll go back home against Miami of Ohio. Obviously, actually, Miami of Ohio has been pretty decent this year. I think if if they didn't win the MAC, they were up there. So not a game to sleep on. And then the rematch that I personally am excited about. In fact, this will probably be the game that Nate and I head to, September 28th versus Louisville. I want to destroy them. Especially from some of the stuff that I heard that those fans, how they were acting and stuff. It's like, come on, man. October 5th, we have a bye week. Wayne Smith said A&M might be the loudest stadium in the country. Yeah, I think you're right. October 12th versus Stanford at Notre Dame. And then we have October 19th at Georgia Tech. October 26th against Navy at MetLife Stadium. That's going to be a cool experience again. November 2nd is the open date that's kind of been talked about a lot. I believe it'll probably be a home game. I've heard rumors that it might be Miami, Florida. Who knows? It's good, but I would hope that it's a competitive game because we're gonna whether it's 12 teams or 4 teams, we're gonna need to have the resume to be able to get in there. November 9th then against Florida State at home against Florida State. So it'll be competitive, but we'll see. Then we've got Virginia at home on November 16th. November 23rd, we're on a bye. And then we finish off the season in Southern Cal against the Trojans on November 30th. So, again, very manageable schedule. I only see, maybe 3-4 games on there that should be even competitive, quite frankly. But you just never know. Surprised nobody's asked about this again, but what does everybody think about the potential transfer quarterback that we are likely going to be getting in? He's been crystal balled to Notre Dame for a couple of days now. Riley Leonard, the former starting quarterback for the Duke Blue Devils. I personally am geeked about it. I know there's a lot of frustration about why aren't we developing our own players and all that kind of stuff, which there is something to be said for that, but we're in win now mode, right? CJ Carr, I believe, truly does have the tools to be the general quarterback that takes us to the promised land. But he's going to need some time. I don't think you, in any scenario, take a CJ Carr and put him as his first college start in College Station. I think that's asking for trouble. Confidence would be destroyed, and it could just go really badly. So I like the decision to bring in a Riley Leonard. He's a mobile quarterback. They can run with him. The teams won't be able to stack the box. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be very interesting to see how he fits into Parker's offense. And we don't need to go on the Parker tip. I mean, I think everybody, including myself, is frustrated with what we saw this past year. You can only hope that he's going to get better and that he's going to spread the ball out a little bit more, throw it around a little bit more. I know Riley Leonard has a good arm. The biggest thing with Riley Leonard, in my opinion, is staying healthy. He's been hurt quite a bit. Bring him in and let the competition work itself out, says Gary, and talking about Riley Leonard. The 4 power conference champs get the first round bye. We will always have the tougher road. That's from Wayne in regard to the 12-team playoffs. Yeah, so all the power conferences, the four power conferences now will get the byes, and then Notre Dame will have to fight its way in somewhere in that equation. But if it was this year, I'll bet you Notre Dame would still somehow get in. But it would be tight and there would be a lot of controversy. Next year, though, let's say 1, maybe 2 losses, I think we would be in. And then it'd be time to get to work from there and navigate our way through that playoff. It's going to be I am so excited about that expanded playoff. As much as some of the new stuff in college football has me frustrated, the portal, things like that, the 12-team college playoff has been long overdue, and I really can't wait to see how that plays out. Tim Fox said, are we going to be in the Sun Bowl? Yes, we are going to be in the Sun Bowl. It's official. Notre Dame versus Oregon State in the Sun Bowl. Oregon State will most likely be without DJ Uiagalelei. I have no idea their other portal guys or transfers or declarations to the NFL. Oregon State, as I mentioned, is the 21st ranked team in the country. Had a good win against Utah. Just barely lost to number 2 ranked University of Washington. So clearly they've got some talent there. They did lose their coach, though, John L. Smith, although I'm assuming he's the kind of guy that'll probably stick around to coach unless he's gone. I'm not real sure, but he's a good coach, obviously, so we'll see. Will he go to MSU? It's from Ed Cohn. Not sure who you're talking about there, bud. Wayne Smith wants to know what's the Sun Bowl payout. I'm not sure. It's probably not as high as we would hope, but it doesn't matter. It's extra practices, extra exposure for some of the kids that are on the fringe, extra reps in a game situation for some of the younger guys that'll be counted on to be the guy next year with this offense. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. Let's see. John L. Smith, yeah, I went to MSU, Michigan State. Oregon State QB said Ed Cohn. Oh, are you talking about MSU in terms of DJ Uiagalelei? Because I thought he went, I don't know where. I thought he was going to go to the NFL, but I could be wrong. So, all right, guys, we're going to go ahead and jump off. I think we covered just about everything we wanted to get to today. I appreciate all you guys watching, listening. If you're listening to this later, thank you for checking us out. Please share this. We really want to grow our YouTube. We're at about 400. We want to get to 1,000 so we can try to monetize a little bit. So if you guys can spread the word, if you're not subscribing to us on YouTube, just simply type in Dose Leprechauns and you'll find our stuff. You'll find our Defense South Bend logo that you'll see here on the screen. I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsors, Big Time Auto Ads. Their website is gowithbigtime.com. You'll see it here on the scroll. And then Ruiz Custom Paint. I'm going to be posting a little bit later. Mr. Ruiz sent me an incredible, I think it's a clay type statue of Audric Estime that he hand makes. And it is sweet looking. It is unique and really, really cool. I'm looking at it right now. So I'll post that up on our different social medias. But Nick Yoder, happy holidays. Nice outfit. We'll have story time about that sometime later. We'll probably do a couple more Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, spaces here in the near future. That was kind of fun. Just kind of a real quick chance to lounge around and hang out. Follow Fighting Irish Faithful on X. That's Joe and his team. They're under our umbrella of Dose Leprechauns Media, and they do a really good job breaking down. They do more of the X's and O's type stuff. He's smarter than me, so he does a really good job. Check him out on Twitter at Fighting Irish Faithful. Just really want to thank you guys for all the support. Looking forward to it. We're going to, knowing that El Paso is actually only about 600 miles. No, not even that long. Probably about 400 miles from where we live. Good possibility we try to go to that game. So we'll see how it goes. But love you guys. Have a great day. Have a great night. God bless all of you. And we'll see you sometime before the bowl game. We'll start getting back on a regular schedule of weekly podcasts as we lead up to the game. And there's going to be a lot of talk about in between. So stay tuned to our different social medias. And everybody have a blessed night. Go Irish.